Are you itching for your next fix of NBA basketball? Did the summer months elapse far too long between the conclusion of the NBA Finals and the start of the new NBA season? Despite the lengthy break, the new NBA season will arrive before you know it, bringing with it a renewed sense of optimism for fans and their team's fortunes following an off-season of signings and transactions. Here's everything we know so far. To begin with, when does the NBA season begin and end? The end of training camp on September 28 signals the start of the regular season, which does not begin until October 18, exactly 3 weeks later. The reigning NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, will face the Brooklyn Nets, who finished in second place. Following the end of the regular season on April 10, 2022, the play-in tournaments for the 7th and 8th seeds in the Western and Eastern Conferences will commence on April 12, 2022 and April 15, 2022, respectively. The NBA postseason will begin on April 16 and go at least until June 19, when Game 7 of the NBA championships will take place. The NBA draft will occur on June 23rd, and the All-Star break will occur between February 18 and February 20. Between the commercials, the NBA All-Star game will take place. The team will typically compete in 7 to 16 games every month during the 7 months from October to April. Because the season starts in the middle to late part of October and lasts until the beginning of April, we can count it as 6 months. Basketball lovers in the United States can watch the most significant games of the 2022-2023 NBA season on Sling TV. Sling Orange and Blue rent for $35 per month, whereas Sling Blue rents for $50 per month. You can receive your first month for half price, plus free access to Showtime, Stars, and Epix for the first month. Moving on. How long will the NBA season 2022-23 last? The National Basketball Association, or NBA, will return to its regular schedule of 82 games beginning with the 2022-2023 season, after 2 seasons in which only 72 were played due to the coronavirus pandemic. From the first round until the NBA Finals, the game tournament will determine each league's final 2 playoff spots. For each game, the finals will follow the standard best-of-7 format. Well, what is the schedule for the 2022-23 NBA season? September 9 and 10, Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame Enshrinement Weekend. September 30 and October 2nd, Warriors Wizards to play in NBA Japan Games 2022. October 6 and October 8, Bucks Hawks to play in Abu Dhabi Games 2022. October 18, NBA regular season start date. December 17, Spurs Heat to play in NBA Mexico City Game 2022. January 19, Pistons Bulls to play in NBA Paris Game 2023. February 17 to 19, NBA All-Star 2023 in Salt Lake City. Following that, does the 2021-2022 NBA season always have 82 games. For the overwhelming duration of its existence, the National Basketball Association, or NBA, has followed an 82-game season schedule. The regular season featured 8 to 17 teams depending on the year throughout the first decade of the National Basketball Association. Despite this, the league was in charge of hosting a substantial number of games, with the total number of games ranging from 60 to 72. Even though only 9 teams were competing in the league's initial year of 1962, 80 games were played. It denotes that a team will face another team between 8 and 10 times during the season. Despite current players' displeasure with the length of the season, some have even resorted to load management measures. And the number of games played during each NBA season remains constant. Players are being hurt because they have been playing non-stop for many years without taking rest, not because of the 82-game series. After years of playing basketball in college and AAU leagues, a professional player cannot afford to take any days off for fear of falling behind their competition's performance. Next up, when do the playoffs begin and when do they end? The NBA playoffs are an exciting time for basketball fans to watch. Many basketball fans will not pay attention to the regular season, preferring to focus on the postseason. The postseason begins in the middle of April and runs through early June. The National Basketball Association maintains a schedule that is, for the most part, very consistent from season to season, assuming no unexpected setbacks such as an outbreak. Moving on, what teams will play on opening night? The reigning champion Milwaukee Bucks will face the Brooklyn Nets in a rematch of the Eastern semifinals on October 19th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Golden State Warriors will then play the Los Angeles Lakers at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The Boston Celtics will play the New York Knicks at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on October 20th, while the Denver Nuggets will play the Phoenix Suns at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Both games will be aired on ESPN. Following that, what is the NBA Christmas Day schedule for 2021? In the first 5 NBA games on Christmas Day, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Anthony Davis will face off against James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant. The game will be held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles at 8 p.m., pitting the Brooklyn Brooklyn Nets against the Los Angeles Lakers. Following the conclusion of the Lakers-Nets game, the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz will face off on ESPN at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell will oppose Luka Doncic. Trae Young will repeat his role as the primary opponent in New York City when the Atlanta Hawks visit the New York Knicks, whom the Hawks eliminated from the playoffs in 5 games the previous season. ESPN's Christmas Day programming will start at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. The next 2 games will be televised on ABC. The reigning champion Milwaukee Bucks will face the Boston Celtics at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The Western Conference champion Phoenix Suns will face the Golden State Warriors at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. The complete game and broadcast schedules for the 2021-22 National Basketball Association season will be released on August 20th. Up next, what is the best way for a team to begin an NBA season? The Los Angeles Lakers began the 1971-1972 season on a 33-game winning streak led by Jerry West. The squad finished with a record of 69 wins and 13 losses during the 82-game season. It was the finest record any team in the league had ever had. Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, and Pat Riley, now the Heat's general manager but formerly coached the team, were all once members of the franchise. The National Basketball Association record for most wins in a season has been tied twice since then. The Chicago Bulls achieved this for the first time in 1995 to 1996, finishing with 72 victories and 10 losses. The Golden State Warriors' Steph Curry and Kevin Durant set a record in the 2015-16 season, leading their club to 73 triumphs and only 9 defeats. Moving on. How long does a college basketball game last on television? A collegiate basketball game should be 55 minutes long with 2 20-minute halves and a 15-minute rest. However, when televised on television, the entire length of the match is frequently significantly longer. The average NCAA game lasts 2 hours and 10 minutes. We have 40 minutes of actual play time, 2 30-second timeouts for each team, and 3 overall timeouts. The whole running time is 48 minutes. One exciting thing to note is that college games are often 8 minutes shorter than NBA games. Even so, the average real-time NCAA match lasts only a few minutes. The biggest cause of this problem are the number of timeouts and the regulatory with which teams take free throws during and after college basketball games. Unlike NBA games, men's collegiate basketball games do not have quarters. It means fouls will last an inning and there will be little time to reset. The more fouls a player commits, the longer the game lasts, and the game length grows. Each men's collegiate basketball team will get 4 timeouts in a basketball game. 3 of them lasted 30 seconds with only 1 lasting 60 seconds. They had to utilize the timeout in the first half or risk missing it. The second half limits each team to 3 stoppages of the game. Each round includes 4 TV waiting times and timeouts and halftime breaks. Stoppage is their name, occurring at 16, 12, 8, and 4 in each game. It will be ignored if no stoppage occurs at one of these 4 milestones. Finally, what is the length of a women's college basketball game? Unlike men's, women's collegiate basketball games often take 2 hours and include 4 10-minute quarters. Women's basketball games used to last the same amount of time as men. New regulations altered the game's format in 2015. The use of 4 quarters is entirely consistent with the rest of the major leagues. These matches also contain a halftime break between the second and third halves. Similar to the men's game, each side has 4 timeouts during the game. Nonetheless, the women's group have no restrictions on when they can use them. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you enjoyed it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.